What's up, guys? It's your girl True 100, and I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling stupendous.
There you
I am feeling amazing and excellent blend with my brother right here. How you doing, Gil?
Hey, I'm doing great. Listen, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here, of course, as always. Hey.
It's a
From a sketch.
pleasure.
Thank
It
you.
is more than a pleasure to be here with an international God.
Lord.
Can you give me a full introduction of yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What's your name? Where you from? What motivates you to keep going and
Yeah.
being this international media success is what I'm gonna call
Oh,
you.
thank you. The name is Gil Ingles for those that speak English, but those that speak Portuguese, Spanish, and French, most of them call me Gil. Right?
Jill.
Yeah, Gil. Like
Okay.
it's almost like Geo, and then with the L, like almost silent.
Gil.
Yeah, Gil.
Jill.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds
So,
romantic.
yeah, English. Thank you. Yeah. So, media has really been one of those things that just kind of like happened, right? I'm honestly a guy that comes from the production and music production, and I dropped into music production really because of me studying computers.
Right.
Right. So I was a computer science major in college. So while I was studying computers and understanding computers, I just started hanging at the studios to make the conversion from ADAT to computerized systems or hard disks. And
Right.
that's basically how I really transitioned into full-blown production, because aside from that, I was just a guy who was fascinated by music. You know, I played the keys and the guitar a little bit. I touched it. I don't call myself
Right.
a guitar player nor a keyboard player. I just messed with it and then got into production. And from that point on, it's really been a blessing because, you know, I'm here today and I'm able to have a roster not only of artists with whom I've worked, but also placements that I've had. So that's just a blessing.
That is a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me, how do you enjoy Houston, Texas versus the other places you've lived?
Listen, Houston has been great. It's almost like the real game, right? It's
Right.
almost like I practiced everywhere else, and now we playing the real game.
The big leagues, that's what I'm
That's
talking
big
about.
league.
So
That's
tell
what
me,
happens.
where was the last place you traveled to?
Last place I traveled to was Portugal.
Portugal.
Yes, it was Portugal.
Wow.
Yes, I went to Praia do Guincho,
Okay.
right, which is one of the most expensive beaches in Portugal. One of the cleanest. It's the top five. One of the top five best
Beaches.
in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so they were speaking Portuguese.
Portuguese.
And how many languages do you speak?
Oh, I can speak quite a few.
I know that.
understand a
I'm
lot
pretty
more.
sure.
Yeah, I speak quite a few and understand quite.
Since it's about to be the 50th anniversary of hip hop,
Indeed.
and hip hop is in a kind of a dire state, or some
Yeah.
say that it might be a dying sport. Would you agree with that as far as hip hop at its 50th anniversary,
No.
from where it came from and evolved from?
No, it's just grown. And I'm gonna give you something about hip hop. Hip hop music and go-go music, those were really the things that made America home for me. I was born in Angola.
Right.
So, as a guy born in Angola, Africa, Southern Africa, right, come to America, and you outside from home, you outside from your element,
Right.
and then you start to hear this drumming and these
Mhm.
these things that kind of bring you home and kind of get you on that
Yeah.
vibe,
With
right?
the beat. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was hip hop music. That's what got me friends. That's how I was able to connect to even our people.
Yeah, because of the culture that
Indeed,
hip hop
indeed,
is.
that was the culture.
It's the
So-
culture.
So that culture has just evolved a lot.
Okay.
And with that evolution, it requires us also to have to evolve a little bit more, because we have gone from what we would consider, I guess the best analogy would have been, it was previously a small business, and it's now an enterprise.
Yes,
Right?
it's
And
now a
that-
major corporation.
Exactly. Major enterprise with a lot of things going on. Right?
Yes.
You no longer just need to be a guy from fashion. You don't need to just be a guy who does music. You don't just need to be a designer. You don't just need to be, you can be anything still within the hip hop culture.
Yes.
Right, and it's one of the industries that has created probably the most jobs and the most success in the last 10 to 20 years, right?
Especially with millennials and the way that millennials are capitalizing on this industry. It used to be where you have to go and get a record label, you have to go and get a budget for your video, have to go and get a budget for your production. These days, we sitting up here, I've seen people shoot movies on iPhone.
Oh yeah, technology.
And really distribute it worldwide.
Yeah, technology has facilitated all that, right? I mean, you're looking now at a world in which the middleman or the gatekeepers are actually being taken out of place.
Right.
Right? Because you can actually shoot, edit, right on your phone. Shoot, edit, and distribute.
Right.
Right? And if you, I mean, just think about it. Back in the days, there were guys who actually made a living by just running around with the video cameras throughout the city,
right,
capturing clips to be able to sell to news stations,
right?
Now you have guys with their phones doing exactly the same thing, right?
And information moves so much faster.
Indeed, it's the information age. After all, we sometimes forget that,
right? It's the age of information.
We deep right into the information age. We're right at the peak of it. We're right at the boom of it. Now it takes, at one point, used to be 6 to 9 seconds, right? For something to be old. Now it's like an instant thing.
Instantaneous.
Like, in 3 seconds, if you don't get what you captured to a news station, it's all news.
It's all done. Right. Yeah. So speaking of this news and this media, can you give me, tell us about your show. Tell us how you bring in the African flavor and really capturing it here in Houston.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm always seeing you out, and I really appreciate that. The energy, the vibe. I was over by, where were we? In East Downtown, I saw you.
Yes.
I see you at the award show. You're getting an award this year.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and it is congratulations not just to me, but also to Set Institute, which is really the institution that we kind of use to gather all the young creatives, and we basically try to create a platform that does that. Is also a shout out really to One Sound Vibe Connections, which is another place also we get an opportunity to do exactly the same thing, right? Now. Diaspora Central is really a brand that I started, I would say right around pandemic time. I think it was like 2002, 2001, end of 2002. That's when I kind of like decided I'm going to do this thing.
Right.
And early 2001, I decided to do. And the purpose of that brand is really just to tell the story of individuals such as yourself, the guys who are really submerged in the culture, the guys that do the day-to-day work.
Right.
And people don't hear about it. Right. So we have those conversations from inspirations to aspirations.
Yes.
Because we got real people, real lives.
Right.
And sometimes we forget about that. We think the culture just happens, but it doesn't just happen. There are people who actually have to work to make culture a great culture.
That's so true.
And that's what Diaspora Central is. It's basically the showcase of diaspora culture, and talent. So that's really what it is.
So I have a question.
Indeed.
What inspires you to keep going with the culture, to keep going with your show, to keep going with your production? Because I see that you're pretty much self-motivated and self-made.
Yeah.
What inspires you to be hired?
I would say it's really, in all honesty, the thought and the goal is to ensure that we protect the legacy.
Right.
Not really my legacy, but the legacy of those that came before us, and that we prepare to protect the legacy of those coming after us. Right. Individuals like you motivate me because you guys are out there. I mean, you outside.
I'm outside, baby. I'm outside.
And that just inspires me to really have to be out there also and kind of.
This year alone, I hit the BET Awards. I got invited to MTV.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it home with 2 awards, the host of the year, PR of the year.
Congratulations.
But the thing is, I've been into it with my brand for years, and a lot of times I've been getting unnoticed, overlooked. A lot of people don't know. They steal my swag a lot of times. My lyrics, all that. But for now, right now, I'm in such a good space to just see some tangible results.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? And just to be surrounded by good people who's also on a mission to do something good.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about overall. It's about generational wealth and basically honoring our ancestors, like you said.
Legacy.
And one thing I believe is whenever we heal ourselves and whenever we whenever we evolve ourselves, we also evolve our timeline.
Indeed.
So think about it. Whenever you begin to do things that's out of your timeline, break those generational curses, it's also breaking that curse for your ancestor and
For
also
sure.
for your kids.
Oh
You
yeah.
setting up your legacy
Oh yeah.
by putting in that hard work,
Oh yeah.
by building that framework and that pipeline, and that's what being outside and representing myself in a good light. That's what it means to me.
Indeed. Nah,
So, do you
that's what
have
it is.
children?
Yes, I have one daughter. Yeah, I only have one child, so I have one daughter. She's now finishing her master's degree.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, yeah. Nolani, yeah. Shout out to Nolani.
My daughter
Yeah.
name is Alana.
Alana.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
You have one daughter and
One daughter, one son,
Okay.
Daniel and Alana.
Daniel and Alana.
And my daughter,
Yeah.
she's a mini me.
Yeah.
She she is dramatic with the influence. She
There-
dance. She got
There you
that
go.
energy and that spunk.
There you
And I've
go.
been teaching her since day one how to be a media professional.
There
She
you
can
go.
get up there with the mic.
Mhm.
Hey, how you
Do that.
doing? What's
There
your
you go.
name? Introduce a
Right.
full-fledged interview.
Hey, listen,
Mm-hmm.
she comes from the right source.
Right.
She definitely in the right place. Yeah, right space also.
So, where do you see yourself and your brand within the next 5 to 10 years?
Still pushing, still working as hard as we can, still trying to make a difference. Yeah, ensuring that we definitely showcasing and still promoting diaspora culture, diaspora talent, diaspora content. I mean, it's
Diaspora
about the
culture.
diaspora. It's about the diaspora.
Yes.
It's about the
It
diaspora.
is.
That's
It
what we
is.
do. Yeah. And because I mean, we by doing so, we also merge that gap between
Right.
the continent and the diaspora, right?
Right.
Right. Because at one point, if you think about it, just remember, like diaspora, people used to consider just to be people that came from Africa post-slavery,
Right.
right? What happens to the ones that actually were born in this country
Right.
for like several years before?
Right.
All of these guys are part of the same diaspora. And if you look at it today, it's like as we even look at the diaspora, we're at the highest peak of our financial capacity. But yet we're doing less than we used to do in the past.
Right.
Right? Because we're not focused. So we just gotta create programs, we gotta create a vision, we gotta really center ourselves back into a purpose of actually doing for self so that we can kind of raise ourselves off the mess that we find ourselves in right now and make it a lot better.
One thing I'll say about the diaspora is we need solidarity amongst ourselves.
Indeed.
We need solidarity as far as the people who've just migrated here, the older people, all of these timelines of the diaspora, they should be submerged.
Yeah.
But so many people, they separated by their religion, they separated by their culture, they separated by their preferences. But at the same time, we all have a common goal.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Which is going to the highest level.
Right.
And I really love just having a good positive representation. And can you tell us what's the name of your show and when can we find it online?
Oh yeah, definitely. The show is Diaspora Central Spotlight. You can actually go to diasporacentral.net and find it there. Also, you can go on YouTube and just look for Diaspora Central Spotlight. It's really the Spotlight is the show that I host, of course, and then this is a show also that we then bring it down to spread the brand. Also, is
Right.
spread the brand. Excuse me. So it's out there. It's up and coming. I mean, we going into our third year. We
Yeah.
got approximately 100 shows already published and approximately 100 shows in the queue already recorded in the
Wow.
process of being edited. So we're really busy. We're really capturing true stories of the diaspora. It doesn't cost the guests anything to be part of the show because really our purpose is to ensure that we showcasing an integral part of our society and of the culture.
That's amazing, and that's actually history in the making.
Indeed, thank you.
History in the making. I love that. And can you tell us where we can find you?
Yeah, of course. On Instagram, you can always go to @Gil.Ingles, and also you can find me on @diaspora.central, and of course you can always go to diasporacentral.net, which is the primary website for the entire everything that I kind of do, and that works pretty well. Yeah.
And thank you for keeping it 100. You can find me at Trill 100 on all streaming platforms. Make sure you keep it Trill and always keep it 100.